Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my wonderful and beautiful little subscribers out there. And how I love you all, so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious, and that life is treating you most deliciously. So what do we do? 3, 2, 1, my juicy little lads. Thank you, little lads. You're delicious and bright. What's happened there? Well, half are on and half are off. What's happening? That's never happened before, my delicious little babies. So I've got half my lights on and half my lights off. How does that work then, my delicious little babies? Anyway, not to worry, not to worry. I think this is probably, that doesn't mean that. I think that they're on the way out, my delicious little babies. Anyway, right, okay, so the time, what's the time, Mr. Wolf? That doesn't mean no, I think they really are. The time is nearly 2:15 in our old England, my delicious babies, in the afternoon. The sky is very grey, but there's a bit of wind, and it is a little bit, let's just say, 1 minute it goes chilly and the next minute it goes warm. Okay, my delicious babies now then. So let's just get on with this. So the first one, my delicious little babies, this uploader happens to have 1.59 thousand subscribers, my delicious little babies. And I hope that you're all super duper well wherever you are in the world, okay? And the uploader is called, right, this is all lowercase, okay, my delicious little babies. It's called the Master Plaster 87. Okay, my delicious little babies. I'm just going to repeat this again for you. The uploader is called the Master Plaster 87. So I'll just spell it out for you. THEMASTER PLASTER and then 87. Okay, my delicious babies. This is quite odd because this has come up on my feed, my delicious little babies, and it should read Credo or Credo Mutwa's human origin story. Well, I prefer to call, us mankind, but it says human. Okay, my delicious little babies, so I'm just going to repeat that again for you. Credo or Credo, Mutwa's human origin story. This, my delicious little babies, is over 13 minutes long, so it's not long, my delicious little babies. And what's really quite bizarre, so I'm going to tick that one off, is that I happen to be talking on one of my videos, green and red. Okay, my delicious little babies. So it's really, I was listening to it. I've still got a bit more to listen to, my delicious little babies. But I just thought I'd give out this video just, to see what, what your thoughts may be, my delicious little babies, okay? And the other thing is as well, this uploader has done very little videos, and this was 14 years ago, my delicious little babies. Just write that down. Okay, my delicious little babies. So yeah, it'd be good to take a listen. You know what I mean, my delicious little babies. Anyway, so, some would call it a story. Some may not call it a story. It would be up to yourselves, my delicious little babies, what your thoughts are. Now, the next one, my delicious little babies, okay? This one here, because I've only got 3 today, my delicious little babies. So that will more than likely, it will be a one-off. Sorry, my delicious little babies, okay? It's just a one-off that I'm just giving out with that video that I've just mentioned. This one here, 2, is going to be a one-off, okay, my delicious little babies, and with anybody not in that way, not in that way. This uploader, they're all on YouTube, my delicious little babies, is called capital R, Irish man, then capital R, capital R, capital L. Okay, so it's all together. Irish man, IRL. Okay, my delicious little babies. This uploader happens to have 11.4 thousand subscribers, my delicious little babies, okay, 11.4 thousand subscribers. And the video should read, and this is over 6 minutes long, my delicious little babies, okay? And it should read, greedy landlord fills his house to the brim with 18 foreigners. Sorry, my delicious little babies, yeah, stumbled there, rightfully so. I'll just repeat that again for you, shall I? Greedy landlord fills his house to the brim with 18 foreigners, my delicious little babies. Now then, so who, like the journalist, who he's talking to is this Bangladeshi man who's come over. I think he was coming over to study. Somebody had suggested, I think this is going through Facebook or something, my delicious little babies, had suggested that he could stay at this house. Now, this house, my delicious little babies, should only really cater at a comfortable level 4 to 6 man and woman, my delicious little babies, 4 to 6, okay? Well, not in this case. So your man here now, your Bangladeshi man, he paid €500, okay, for the deposit. And then it's 500, well, we can only assume, rent a month. Well, I'm not very good at maths, my delicious little babies, but I will tell you this, that is, there we are, a very large amount. And there's all different mattresses, okay, my delicious little babies. So you got the first floor, you got the second floor, then you got the attic. Okay, my delicious little babies. And this is Ireland, my delicious little babies, okay? I mean, how I just do not understand how somebody, there we are, is getting away with this, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? Okay. I mean, for goodness sake, I mean, I bumped into when was it? Somebody the other day, my delicious little babies, who I know, and they moved off the road now. Okay, and they found a room in a 3-bedroomed house, my delicious little babies. And he's got the largest room, and that's $550 a month. That's with all bills. Okay, so he's got access to the bathroom. He's got access to the kitchen. Okay, my delicious little babies. Okay, but he's got his own room. So he said to me, he says, well, what I'm going to do, Carla, he said, once I put up, some pictures and make it look like home, you know what I mean? Because he couldn't afford to keep renting the flat that he was renting, my delicious little babies, sadly. Okay? But for that, he gets a large room, plus he's got the access, to the garden, and there we are, and things like this now then. In this case that I'm talking about, my delicious little babies, okay, there are some who are living in this house in Ireland who are actually cooking in their room because they've only got one kitchen. I mean, I've got to be honest, my delicious little babies, there we are, I feel so sorry for them. I mean, imagine that, my delicious little babies, do you know what I mean? I mean, that would really, well and truly, pee myself off. Do you understand what I mean? If you had to live like that. But this is what they do, my delicious little babies. Some landlords are like it. It's like over here in our old England, my delicious little babies. I remember, I'm going back years ago now, before I moved here. And I went to go and take a look at a house. It's a lovely road, don't get me wrong. But I took one look and I said to them, I said, hold on a minute. I said, there's all wires here, there and everywhere, my delicious little babies. I said, well, what if I was to trip up? What if my beautiful baby daughters were to trip up? And he said, well, it's all right. I said, no. And at that time, I am going back, about 10 years ago. And, and I said, how much do you want a month for this? It was just in a lot of disrepair, my delicious little babies. He wanted 600, ching, ching, ching. He was Asian. Okay, my delicious little babies. So, and I'm not just saying that because somebody's Asian, because everybody knows I'm not flipping racist, okay? Anybody who knows me, my delicious little babies, knows that. But this does go on. You know what I mean? Where, homes are not fit for living in, my delicious little babies. And that has only got one bathroom as well. Imagine that. Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies? That is absolutely disgraceful. And I hope that you would agree with myself for that, my delicious little babies. But yeah, well worth a little watch. I mean, some of you may already know about this, but others of you may not, my delicious little babies. But that came up on my feed as well. Well, I can only hope, bless him, not in that way, not in that way. And with the others, you know, maybe if they went to go and rent somewhere else, you know, maybe 5 of them or something, you know what I mean? And they all chipped in together and went and rented, there we are, somewhere else. But can you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? I mean, that is just damn rank. That is just damn flipping money. Ka-ching, 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 hungry, my delicious little babies, do you know what I mean? And not only that, but it is exploiting, it is exploiting them. I think that's absolutely disgraceful. And if you imagine, you know, because as much as, I mean, it's mankind, isn't it? Some are very clean and tidy. Like for myself, there we are, I am clean and tidy. Do you understand what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? But imagine if you're living with some, and maybe they do feel down having to live in those, there we are, conditions, okay, with a mattress and, you know, things like this, because they cannot really make it their home as such. You know what I mean? It's just like you're getting your shut-eye, you know what I mean, Martin and stick babies, you know what I mean? And you blink and you wake up and then you're out, you know what I mean, for the day or whatever, you know what I mean? But to live like that, I'm pretty sure, there we are, it would cause some depression, so maybe not all of them maybe as clean and tidy, my delicious little babies, from what I could see. You know what I mean, my delicious little babies, okay? And with that Bangladeshi man going up the stairs, I mean, you should see it. It's disgraceful. I mean, how that landlord's getting away with this, I just do not know. Well, anyway, it's been plastered everywhere now, it seems, my delicious little babies, because that's just damn greedy, man. I do not personally believe anybody should treat somebody like that. But anyway, I hope they get somewhere else to live, you know, that somebody's got a house and you know, take 5 of the best. I don't mean that in a nasty way, but 5 of the best ones who are clean and tidy and everything. You know what I mean, okay? And then, you know, bit by bit, the others go, you know, and then, you know, that landlord, there we are. He'll get old-fashioned Jamaican saying, there we are, what the duck gives him. Do you understand what I mean? If everybody just leave his property, isn't it? I don't like hearing stories like that, my delicious little babies. Do you understand what I mean? Yes. Doesn't matter, not meaning that in a rude way, whatever colour, culture you are, no. Nobody should ever be treated like that, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? But of course, some, you know, they're just, this is what I'm saying about the world, my delicious little babies. You know what I mean? Some are just so flipping damn greedy, man. They're just never happy, you know, just like with a little bit. You know what I mean? They just want more and more and more. You know, feed me now, on goa. You know what I mean, Martin? Little babies. Anyway, and finally, I do advertise, not in that way. I do advertise this dear gentleman sometimes, Martin Little babies. He's now up to 2.84 thousand subscribers, Martin Little babies. His name is capital G, Gary, space, capital W, Waterman. Okay, my delicious babies on old YouTube, okay? I really want his numbers to go up. There we are, because he's really trying hard. There we are here, my delicious little babies. Do you know what I mean? And the video should read, my arrest on the 19th of the 9th, 2025. Okay, my delicious little babies. So I'm just going to repeat that again for you. My arrest on the 19th of the 9th, 2025. Okay, my delicious babies, now I'm going to close my book and then we have to go back to where we need to go back to. I hope that, dear Gary, bless him, I hope that he's going to, you know, that he was all right. What he was doing, and this video is over 27 minutes long, my delicious little babies, and what he was explaining to the old Scottish over there, my delicious little babies, because basically what happened was he got pulled over for no insurance, my delicious little babies. And what he was saying is, what Gary was saying, bless him, is he does not feel that he should pay any insurance to a fraudulent and criminal organisations, my delicious little babies, okay? Well, you should have seen, there we are, the sheer arrogance of these Scottish old Bill, my delicious little babies, do you know what I mean? They got no, another old-fashioned Jamaican saying, they got no skin on the bird race, you know what I mean? My delicious little babies, okay? So in the end, they wouldn't listen to what Gary was saying. Gary was saying under common law that, you know, that they can be arrested. Those police officers can be arrested, okay, under common law, okay? My delicious little baby Scottish common law, okay? Because they are part of the problem. And I totally agreed with Gary. You see, if they do not know, there we are, the law the damn selves, okay? I mean, what right have they got to arrest poor Gary for not paying insurance? I mean, the truth of the matter is, if anybody was to look at the space straw man on YouTube, my delicious little babies, I've talked about this, there we are, for years, okay, my delicious little babies. You see, we shouldn't have to... say if you are using a car leisurely, okay, my delicious little babies, so you could be taking your little bairns, if you have, you know, if you're blessed to have little bairns, to the park, or maybe you're going to the supermarket, or maybe to the school. Well, your car, you should not need a licence for. So what they're saying is you only have a licence if, say, you use your car for work or your van for work or something like this now. For anything else, no. You see, there's a lot more to, there we are, all of this, my delicious little babies, okay? But of course, yes, it gets, you know, all of our ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching just gets paid into a pot, there we are, to go to the criminals, there we are, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? And Gary was done, there we are, explaining this. But the arrogance of those officers, I mean, if they really knew, with them putting on their flipping uniform every day, my delicious little babies, okay? If they really knew everything, they wouldn't want to get out of bed and do their job, my delicious little babies, do you see what I mean? But the sheer arrogance and not even wanting to hear anything. And the one old Bill, the first one, he's too bothered. Oh, you know, what about if you was to crash into, you know, a new car, somebody's new car? Can you see? Can you see the level of flipping brain deadness, if that's a flipping word? Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies? I do not like to use those words, but do you know what I'm saying, okay? But Gary just was continuously sorry. Yeah, stumbled there, rightfully so, you know, continuously explaining. And it was going through one ear and out the flipping other, my delicious little babies. But poor Gary, and all he's doing is exposing. See, I keep flipping tripping here, you know, not tripping like, you know what I mean, my delicious little babies. You know, he's doing his best, there we are, to expose. And some of the companies, there we are, have been dissolving. There we are, since he's been exposing. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? He's well worth a listen to, his dear Gary. There we are, my delicious little babies. He really, really is, you know, okay? And he's trying, but he explained himself, because his next old Bill, okay? Now, I know not a lot really like the old Bill, my delicious little babies, okay? You know, especially if, you know, if you've had a few run-ins with them at one time or another, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? And he explains himself that he was, you know, not his words, but words to effect, you know, that he was brainwashed, there we are, as well. They're not his exact words, but you know what I mean? But at one time, he believed everything, right up until he said 2000, there we are, and 22. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little baby? So that's what I'm saying, you know. There are some that will say, you know, well, you know what I mean, the old Bill can do no wrong. But then you got others where, you know, they will call them out. Do you understand what I mean, my delicious little babies? And another one who's good is called Jon, John Space Wedger. And his next old Bill, my delicious little babies, okay? So he's very good as well. Do you know what I mean? But when everybody is trying the best, there we are, to get information out so that others can see, there we are, the truth of what's been damn well going on now. Do you know what I mean? I feel that Gary should have, there we are, far more, there we are, subscribers, my delicious little babies. He really, really, really should. So it's showing myself that older YouTube is not wanting, you know, certain uploaders, there we are, to get out, my delicious little babies. They're just not. Do you see what I mean, my delicious little babies? But that's another odd one, isn't it, my delicious little babies? Getting back to the first video that I advertised 14 years ago, and then nothing. Do you know what I mean, my delicious little babies? Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, well, I hope Gary's all right, bless him. Anyway, so that's the end of my video, my delicious little babies. I wish I had a flipping known, because I've been up at the shopping centre today, my delicious little babies, and I wish I had known. I've never seen that before, my delicious little babies. See, so these are like 50 lots, okay? And there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 working. My delicious little babies, anyway. I'll have to, oh, that's what's happened, look. That bit's come off, my delicious little babies. It's come loose or something. That's what's happened. Anyway, I don't think I'll be able to repair it. Anyway, not to worry, my delicious little babies. I'm not going to be fumbling with my flipping lights on my video. No, I don't think I'm going to be able to repair them. I'll just have to keep using them until the next time I go to the shopping centre, my delicious little babies, because I do miss my juicy little lights. I mean, sometimes when I've done videos, I do them outside in the garden or if I'm walking and talking. So I do not use my lights then, because you cannot really see with the brightness. But, you know, when I'm sat, you know, indoors, I do miss my juicy little lights if I haven't got them around my neck, you know what I mean? My delicious little babies. Anyway, so wherever you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one life, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony and bright blessings to each and every one of you. And may your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected. And how I love you also. And please, do take care of yourselves, and please try to take care of others, because we are in a bonkers, crackers and crazy world. Oh, and just to let you know, there's nothing more as I was walking around, so it seems you know, whoever it is doesn't want to you know, put anything out at the moment. Okay, my delicious little babies. So please take care, okay? And how I love you also, I genuinely do, you know, okay? And so many bright blessings to you all, okay? And if it is morning, afternoon or evening, whatever you do, please make it, there we are, super duper wonderful and delicious, okay? So until my next video, thank you so very much for any likes. Thank you for any views. How I love you all. So look after now. Goodbye.